Hey, Christy.
What's up, Kelly? It's so good to see you. It's been way
You
too long.
Welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
God.
And it's now January, which means millions of people woke up today and said, "This is the year," while still wearing emotional sweatpants.
I know January is basically December with shame.
It's a Monday morning energy with a vision board.
Yeah, exactly. And today we're talking New Year's resolutions, the lies, the delusions, and the ones that expire before this credit card statement arise.
Amen. Also, just a heads up, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I don't think Kelly does either. But anyways, here we go. Welcome back to Vertically Unstable. Hey, this is the
Yay!
2026. This is episode what, 32?
32? And I mean, for anybody who's listening thinking that you should have your shit together, don't bother. It's a waste of time, just like New Year's resolutions. Not worth
I
it.
agree. But before we get into New Year's resolutions, perhaps we'll just call them goal setting. Let's talk about the recap of the holiday. I want to hear about. I haven't even talked to you. So, how were your holidays up there in the frozen tundra that is Canada?
You know, a couple of things. It's a little bit like having children, and then you get pregnant again. You're like, oh fuck, I forgot how terrible it was giving birth. Going back to winter felt like that. You're like, oh, it's gonna be so beautiful, and then you go and you're like, oh god, I forgot how much I hate this. Not Canada. Just the cold and oppressive dryness of having heat on in your house all the time. I had to come back to the desert of California to re-moisturize my skin. That's how dry it is. I was just like, oh my God.
Wait, so hold on. That doesn't make any sense to me. So the
I
desert,
know.
wait, because it's so dry up there.
It
The
is
desert
so
is
dry.
moist in comparison.
Yeah, thank
I
you for using the
gotcha.
M word. Thank you for using the M word so
Yeah, I
early.
know.
in the
I
podcast.
didn't.
But yes,
I couldn't
by
think
the
of a
time
better
you
word.
have oppressively cold winds and wind chill, and then you put the heat on in your house because basically nature's trying to enter, it is just so dry. I had to put Aquaphor in the corner of my eyes because they were tearing up so much that they were chapping. Like, what's happening? It's terrible.
Well, my skin is so dry that once a week I actually do an Aquaphor mask, which is not an actual mask. It's me just rubbing
Aquaphor.
Aquaphor all over my face. And I have to do this usually twice a week during the winter because I do live in a place that tends to get cold. Not Canada cold, okay? We're not talking crazy. You know, one day it's 60 and the next day it's 17 below. So we just like wake up like a woman in perimenopause. No idea. No idea what kind of fucking day we're going to have or what kind of weather. Can't really plan anything because it'll change too. So, anyways,
I could have used a hot flash. That would have been helpful back up there. It was cold the whole time. Andrew was up for 2. So I was there for a month in total, but Andrew was up for 2 and change at the point at which he's 2 and a weeks in. And he says to me, you know what I realized? I've only seen you naked like 3 times. That's because oversharing. But that's because it's so cold that I get angry. And so you're just kind of like, quickly put your clothes on. Don't ever be naked. It's cold. So he realized when we live here in the warmer weather, I just take my sweet time coming out of the shower or getting my pajamas on. And in Canada, I'm like a quick change artist on the school bus between track meets.
I don't know what to say. I see that you're sporting an E cup. Is that something that you got for, and why is it an E?
It's Emery's coffee cup.
Oh, okay. Like for a second, I was like, wait a minute, your name is Kelly.
It's
not
E for excellent.
E for excellent. I love it. I love it. So no, my
How were the
holidays,
holidays?
tell me how the holidays were,
God.
other than
So
freezing ass cold.
Other than freezing ass cold, what I do love is that because I was there for a month, I was not trying to jam in a million visits for short periods of time. I had lots of time to visit everybody. So even my mom, Christy, before you get mad at me for not seeing my mom, I saw them all. I saw everybody. I hugged everybody. And I didn't get any diseases like the cold or the massive flu that was going around. So that was a win. But I managed, with the help of my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and niece, to pull off the ultimate Christmas surprise.
Hit it.
I pull it off. I didn't do anything. I came up with the idea. They executed. So the family from Hong Kong, who has not been to Canada for Christmas in 20 years, surprised everybody by showing up. on Christmas Eve day.
I love
It
that.
was so good. And so I'm like tracking their flight like NORAD tracks Santa. I'm like, I can see they land. We have a group text, just the four of us. So I know they're there and they're picking up their rental car. And meanwhile, and I'm like, Andrew, go get Aiden. So he's picking our one son up from his mom's house. And then I'm texting my other son, hey, when are you coming to the house? Like, it would be great if you could arrive by, oh, I don't know, around now. And we can have some coffee and get together. And then everybody was in the house together. We're sitting around having coffee. And I know that the Hong Kong Mars are like super close to us. I unlock the front door and we're just sitting there chit-chatting. And they come through the front door. There's a long hallway at my mother-in-law's house. So the dog runs up first and starts barking. And I can see everybody wondering, like, who the heck's at the door? We're all here. And they came in playing Christmas music. And my niece Sadie came in first and was like, Merry Christmas. And I watched my kids' faces like, wait, what's happening? And they're trying to process, like, why is Sadie standing in the front doorway? And it was so great. And then the next day, we surprised my mother-in-law and her sister, my aunt, with their presents. They did not know they were there. So we manufactured a visit on Christmas Day to my aunt's. We picked up our mother-in-law, my husband's mom, from her. She lives in an independent living facility. We picked her up. We went for coffees at my Aunt Frida's house, and then we left them in the driveway behind us to come in a few minutes later. So when we were all settled and hi, nice to see you, Merry Christmas, they came in the door, and I said to my mother-in-law, hey, Brenda, I think someone's here for you. She has a little bit of dementia, so she was struggling to remember lots of stuff. And she looked at me and she said, is it Ian? And it was Ian. And so
Oh,
and she started to cry, and it was so beautiful. For someone whose love language is acts of service, that for me was the ultimate Christmas surprise, just getting to watch people see this surprise that we manufactured. Big props to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and Sadie. They came for like 72 hours, 13-hour time difference. Like, it was a lot for them to be there and be jet lagged, but oh my God, it was so great. Yeah.
that.
That was
That's
my best
awesome.
Christmas story. I know, I just
That is
loved
the best
it.
Christmas story. I don't have any ones like that. I do, however, have a great acts of service story. And this
Oh,
is a shout
yes.
out to my sister Melissa, Jenny, and my niece Kate. So, the week before Christmas, I don't remember if we even had a podcast, but because I don't remember any of this,
Because it was
probably
100 years ago.
this was 100 years ago. So my foundation needed about $23,000 worth of work. And when they went in and did my foundation, they destroyed my basement.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to host my Texas family for New Year's because my nephew is getting married, which I'll get into that in a minute, which was like, oh my God, nicest wedding I've ever been to in my life. But anyways, so I'm sitting there and I had to get a new person to do my carpets and get drywall people. This is all on top of Presley's birthday, Colton's birthday, the millions of things that you have going on during elementary school, during Christmas weeks, where all of a sudden everyone forgets that some of us all work.
Have day jobs. Like,
We
don't mind
have
me
day
over
jobs,
here trying to make a living.
plus the soccer parties and the
Yeah.
volleyball parties and the gifts for this person and whatever. So the week before Christmas, my sister Melissa had some of us girls over just to have some wine and my mom and just chit chat. And so while we're sitting there, I'm talking about the fact that I have like basically my entire basement shoved into two other rooms and I have to get everything out and I'm totally overwhelmed, but it'll be fine and da 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 da. And my sister Jenny looks at me and she's like, well, why don't we all just come over after Mass on Sunday, have some mimosas and knock that shit out? And
Yes, Jenny.
I'm sorry. So Jenny and Melissa are the organizers and the cleaners, right? I'm much better. See, you said you had the idea and then
Yeah.
people executed it. I'm
Yeah.
the idea person.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I mean, I could figure it out, but organizing, especially toys and stuff like that, I get like paralyzed. I don't know what to throw away. I don't know. Can you donate that? Am I just wasting everything? So it's very taxing on my little brain. Not to mention there was so much stuff that had to come out. So on Sunday, the Sunday before Christmas, after Mass, Melissa, Jenny, my niece Kate show up along with my kids weren't with me that weekend, along with my two nieces, Sydney and Isabel. And they show up and they are like, go make us breakfast and mimosas, which I'm like, hey,
You're like, I got you.
I can cook all day long. What do you want from scratch? I'll make it. And they went down there in an hour and a half. They had everything unloaded from both rooms. They had the basement reorganized. They had all of the toys organized. They had 3 bags of throwaway, 2 bags of donate, and I didn't have to make a single decision.
And you're okay with like, yep, you make choices I don't need to be involved in selecting? Oh,
Absolutely. Like, when you have people that are just that good at organizing, why would you go down there and be like, "Oh, hold on, here's how my ADHD mind works," because it doesn't work that way for me.
I
Anyway, so
love it.
it was so amazing, and that was, like, the best Christmas gift I think I could have gotten, just to have someone come over and, like, handle what you're not good at.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, so it was done in time for your New Year's obligations to the rest of your family, so you didn't have to sweat it again?
I didn't have to sweat a single thing. Nothing.
Oh, see.
Like, it was done, it was re-vacuumed, it was ready to go. So, it was pretty amazing. And then, we have a tradition on Christmas Eve. We all go to 4 o'clock mass and then go to my sister Melissa's, who hosts, Christmas Eve every year,
Okay.
and has this lovely thing. And then I host Christmas Day.
Mhm.
I didn't get the kids till 3, so we did an evening meal, which I
Okay.
decided to turn into an Italian theme because I
Okay.
was tired of all the
Over
traditional
turkey.
stuff. Well, I just what I'm realizing is my favorite thing in the holidays is mashed potatoes and gravy, and I make that all the time because my kids love it. So, I'm like, "I'm kind of over this whole let's make" so I made my Aunt Rosie, who's, still with us mostly, but she's got dementia. But anyway, she used to make this fantastic fettuccine alfredo that all his kids loved so much, and I made it, and when I made it, I was like, "Oh my god, this starts with 4 sticks of butter,
Pound of butter.
a pound of butter."
Like all good recipes should begin.
It was so freaking good.
Artery clogging butterness. But
Amazing.
it's all about balance. So my guess is you did not have that sweet potato casserole. So there you go. You were good. You ate it your weight in butter instead of in sugar.
Yeah, I did. I
Awesome.
definitely
Awesome.
ate my fair share of that. And then, what'd you do for New Year's Eve?
Nothing actually. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. We went to see my very, very good friends, Terry and Tash, in Kitchener, which is about an hour away. And one of those, now this is going to be very Canadian, but I suspect there's probably some Midwest places where this happens, certainly even in the Northeast, especially around the lakes. You can go through completely different climates
Yes.
like a wall, and they happen to live on the wrong side of the wall. So it's just like Game of Thrones. Or like, is that the one where they had the big tall wall? Yeah, Jon Snow, Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they live on the other side of the snowy wall. We're driving in completely dry weather. And then boom, we're in a snowstorm. And where we were, there was maybe 2 or 3 inches of snow on the ground. And then by the time we got on the other side of the wall, there were like 2 feet of snow. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Anyway, so we went to their house. If you haven't seen them, well, I saw them last year when I was in England. They happened to be in England, but Andrew hasn't seen them since we went on that epic trip. Well, yeah, you're dead to Cancun. So it was so great to see them again. So we spent the late afternoon, early afternoon to late afternoon with them, and then we just drove back home through the snow and then parked it. So I'm not a big New Year's Eve anymore. I'm too old and tired. How about you?
Not. I actually have never been a New Year's Eve person. I'm like, it's amateur night. I
Yes,
feel like there's a
exactly.
lot of pressure. So I choose normally to stay home. Well, then I got an invite to my nephew's wedding on New Year's Eve.
Well, that's right, and it was the
Yes.
fancy zhuzh. I saw your photos,
Like,
sexy mama.
I know, right? Thank you. Thank you. But it was I gotta say this, he's my oldest nephew, was my first nephew. It was kudos to Hannah, his wife, because Sean didn't do shit for this. But
Yeah,
it was the nicest wedding I've ever been to in my life. And I'm like, I was the star of 27 dresses. Like, I've been in more weddings, than most people have attended. And it was I can't there was not even any bad lighting anywhere, like, it was candles and glowy. It was at this beautiful historic hotel in downtown Kansas City called The President. The bride was gorgeous, the groom was gorgeous, like, it was literally, and they had a 6.5 hour reception, right? So we had I
Was
know,
it a was it a
ching.
midday wedding then?
No, it was at so the wedding was at 6,
PM?
so this on New Year's Eve, so the ceremony was over by about 6:30, so then we went to a cocktail hour, which is like an hour and a half, and then we were seated for dinner, and it was, I mean, plated food, and normally plated food, in my opinion, usually sucks, but this stuff was my steak was amazing, and you know how much I love steak. It
Love
was
a
actually a
steak.
tenderloin, but, it was so good. Everything was so beautiful. Her dad I'm just gonna have to make you cry for a quick second. Her dad gave the best the best
Speech.
father of the bride speech. What he did is he took this dress, this little baby dress, her first
God,
dress that
hold
they
on a
ever bought.
second. I'm gonna get some Kleenex. Okay, go.
Okay. So he took Hannah's first dress from when she was a baby.
Like her
And he
christening dress or just a random dress?
I don't know, I didn't ask
Okay.
questions
Okay,
because
okay,
I
okay,
was
sorry.
listening, it was not a reporting session. He takes out this little baby dress, like, for a baby, like, brand new
Itty
baby,
bitty.
and it was her first dress they ever bought her, and then he talked about her life in terms of the dresses, all the way to the last dress he bought her, which she was wearing, and what in a fantastic foil for
Yeah.
a dad. I mean, it was I'm sitting there, I'm bawling. Everyone at our tables, like, we're like sobbing, ugly crying.
Oh,
It was so beautiful. And then they took the reception all the way to 12:30 because you got to say New Year's to everyone, right?
yes,
So
yes.
I have to just say it was the best New Year's Eve, I think, of my life.
That was definitely not amateur hour. That was big girl party. Oh, how
That was
fun.
amazing. And
How
then
many people were there? How many people were in total?
200.
Oh god, that is amazing.
It's just I could do a whole episode on all the great things about this wedding, which I won't do, but what I did love that she did is, I mean, she had note cards in everyone's where you picked up your seating where your table was, and they were individually made out to each person that was there, all 200 people, and I took my boyfriend, who they hadn't met yet, and she even wrote him a note.
Oh my gosh, a
And
handwritten note for
a
every
hand
guest.
for 200 people.
I
That
don't know
was
you, Hannah, but you're fucking crushing it.
I
Like,
mean,
well
Hannah, like,
done,
I'm like,
Hannah.
"Are you sure you wanna stick with the financial world that you're killing it at?" But, I mean,
I know I was gonna
it
ask
was
you what Hannah does for a living, but I
dude,
wouldn't have bet my money wasn't on finances.
it
On
was
event planning?
it was classy, it was fun, well done, well played, both of them, and, of course, they look so happy, so that was amazing as well, and,
That's
Sean's
so
great,
great.
and she's so great for him, so anyways, but that was my New Year's Eve, and it was just I felt like it was such a great start to the new year, right?
Yeah.
We're shedding the year of the snake.
We are shedding that snake
God.
skin, baby. We shed it. I shouldn't say we are, we shed it. It's January 8th, I think now.
It is,
It's
it
gone.
is.
We're into
But
our horse
in my
era.
yeah, we're gonna get in a horse era, but let me just say one more thing and then I'm done.
Mm,
So, I haven't really shed anything yet because the other night at my nephew's birthday party, which of course we had a wedding and a birthday and whatever within like days, I talked to my sister-in-law and she's much younger than I am, and she's like, "I have 2 things to ask you." And I'm like, "Go ahead." Well, one of them was she wanted to run a half marathon, but she wanted someone to train with her.
that's a
And
hard pass. Next question.
hold on though. And she has friends that are runners, and she's like, "I just really would feel more comfortable and, like, accountable if you did it with me, and I know you've run a marathon before." I was like, "Listen, sis, that was almost a decade ago and about, 40 pounds ago, okay?" Yeah. But, of course, I say yes. So, I go out on Monday. I'm like, "Let's get it. Here we go, kids," on my first walk/jog. Let's not call it a run. And I decide that I'm gonna beat a car across the road. Okay. First
Can
of
I
all,
just couple quick questions? The road you were on, what is there snow? Are we talking dry?
no, it was dry.
Okay.
It was about 50,
Busy road?
60
Not
degrees.
busy road.
It had a stoplight at it,
Okay,
so
go on.
busy enough. So
Go
I
on.
hustle it across, which is fine,
Sure.
except the curb immediately goes up into a hill, and what do, Kelly?
Well, you tripped on that curb, baby, and landed on your fucking face, didn't you?
I did. I
Well, your
landed
teeth
on my
are still in
knee.
your mouth. I can
Hold on.
see that. But something went wrong.
Well, I broke my sunglasses, they broke my fall, but my
Oh
right
my
knee is completely swollen and bruised. I can't really
god.
sit right now, this is very painful for me, and yeah, so my hip and my knee and my leg are all completely jacked up, but I will be running this half marathon on May 2nd. Anyways,
I was about to say that this was the end of the story, and it is aligned well to the fact that Christy, in case you're not watching, is sporting a Kansas City Chiefs hat and a Casey Wildcats jersey because both of them are out for the season. And I was about to say, so is Christy, but never mind. She's going to rally.
well, I'm not out, but also thanks for saying that, Kelly. This was kind of an accidental put together, if you want
Shed your
to
skin,
know.
shed your skin.
Shed my skin. But I'm just saying, I know this is my horse year and it's all about momentum. I just need to wait a week to heal.
Yeah, I mean, there's momentum can mean lots of things. It's not always positive momentum. I do want to circle back to something that we talked about late last year, and that was selective participation. Remember that? And you were not always going to say yes to everything? This
Yeah.
feels like one of those opportunities to be selectively participating in sitting on the couch versus running a half marathon. But
Kelly, here's if you don't know this about me already, if I love you and you say I need, usually my
you're in.
answer is yes.
Okay, so then a quick question for you. When this happened and you tripped up the curb, did your newfound marathon buddy assist or laugh or what happened?
Well, she wasn't there. She was at
Oh,
work.
it was you by yourself.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
not running together. We're just like we'll do
You
our
just
long runs together, but yeah, but we're gonna run it together. When I say run, I mean jog, at a leisurely
yeah, like
pace.
who runs
Um,
marathon?
I didn't even run my first marathon. That was a good solid jog. I mean, I finished it in like 5 hours. I was proud of myself. So anyways,
Yeah. Well, good for you. I mean,
well,
it's good to have goals. May is at least not a bad time of year to do it. It won't
but
be oppressively hot.
let's be clear. Right. So let's talk about New Year's. Well, let's go, but oh, so I'm onto my horse year. I'm
Okay.
shedding the snake. I'm just not very fast yet because I just decided to
You're a
fall
baby.
on
You're a
my
baby.
face.
You're a baby gelding who's still got their legs under them a little bit wobbly, trying to figure out how to go. That's fine. A horse is still a horse, even if it's only a day old.
It doesn't make me feel any
Nope.
bit
Okay.
better.
I mean, that's fine. Can I also just point out one quick thing I noticed as you were telling me that story? Actually, it was the story before. You used a word that you've not used on this podcast before, and I just wanted to just double check it if you realized you used it. The word was boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Care
Boyfriend.
to elaborate at all?
No.
No. Moving on. Okay, going
No,
forward.
I know. It's so funny. What do you, I mean, I'm 47. I'm 46 actually,
No,
but whatever.
I'm not mad you used the word. I was proud that you actually described it that way. So I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
this feels like also a new evolution."
Okay. And we're moving on. No one cares.
Next question.
Next question, please. I was gonna say my man friend or my friend, and then I'm like,
I
you
love
know
it.
what? Let's
I
just
love that you brought him into the podcast is my
oh
point, not by the
God.
word you defined him as. Congratulations. Anyways.
Fantastic. Okay. Anywho, so let's talk about New Year's resolutions because I hate them.
Mhm.
And this is the first year that I'm not making any. Truly
Really, you've
not. Nope.
always made them. Even though you hate them, you always make
Even though
them.
I know they're, and I'm going to get into all of the rational reasons why New Year's resolutions don't work.
Mhm.
But first I want to talk about some of the worst ones we've ever made. What's been your worst New Year's resolution?
Resolution I made that was a reinvention of myself in a small window of time like a year. That was really not setting myself up for success. Whether that was I'm going to lose 50 pounds or I'm going to completely fundamentally shift who I am in my soul. Those are stupid resolutions. That's not going to happen. You should give up. It's not very
Wow.
positive of
Wow.
me. This feels those types of things are not I can do this in a year. Those are baked habits. You should give yourself some grace and slow roll into that.
And
Tiny, tiny
I
steps.
agree. And shockingly, Kelly, there's a lot of data to back up the slow roll, or
Mm.
as I like to call it, the fractional change.
Can we be
Uh,
fractionally sober in January as opposed to dry January?
so
Fractionally sober.
funny that you say that because a lot of people that is their New Year's resolution and
Mhm.
they go cold turkey, right?
Yeah.
And cold turkey traditionally ends with I failed,
Yeah.
which is not true. Okay. So for instance, like this is an example of a good cold turkey. Hold on. I was going to see what my stat was on the number of people. Oh yeah, usually by the 17th if you've decided that you're not going to drink anymore ever, if that was your New Year's resolution, and I'm not talking about anyone that has addiction issues, I'm just talking about a good old-fashioned New Year's resolution. You usually are done with that by the 17th
Okay, so
of
you gotta
January.
got one more week.
No, and only about 8% of people keep their New Year's resolutions.
Really? 8%?
If you're quit by February, you're statistically normal. If you've never made one, you're ahead of the curve.
Okay.
And if you're going in if you're going strong in March, you're basically elite. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, New Year's resolutions have a lower success rate than group texts and gym memberships.
Although we all have that one group text that's epic. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, some of my family group threads are pretty hilarious. So, I always look at it, it's the cold turkey all-in approach, right? So,
Yeah.
starting on Monday, I'm not eating sugar, I'm gonna work
Yeah.
out every single day, there's no more caffeine.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like,
drinking 2 liters of water every single day.
well, I already do that, but,
Well, I
hey.
mean, for the people who don't. But I think that don't you also think that the cold turkey resolutions that people mostly make are related to something that the shift that you're trying to get to is just monumental? Like, it's not like I've decided my resolution is I'm going to eat one more vegetable a day. The resolution is always like, I'm going to become a vegetarian. Like, it's too big a stretch.
Agreed, and that's why, I think when you do an all-in slash cold turkey approach, your first hurdle or the first time that you um, eat a piece of pizza or have a drink of wine or, don't floss your teeth.
Wait, who makes that resolution? That's a terrible idea.
Well, one time I did make a resolution. I was like, I'm going to floss my teeth more this year.
I didn't say how many more times.
I just said more. Okay.
I did it
No,
3
but
times instead of 1 time.
so it's like if you have this like stupid amount of change, like you want to get to the better version of you, whatever that looks like for you. And there are variables to get there. There are different
Yeah,
ways of getting there. But this idea of one slip, one day you didn't exercise, one fall on your face, bruise your leg and your knees and whatever does not equal failure slash I'm not going to run a half
exactly.
marathon.
Yes.
Right. It's about progress and consistency over perfection. And so I always say this is not my quote, but I cannot remember for the life of me who said it. Willpower is cute, but consistency is power. And I was like, "Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. That's
Let me
really
ask you, you asked me what my worst, dumbest, whatever resolution was. What's yours?
I think resolutions in the past have usually been around my weight of some kind. I'm
Hmm.
gonna lose 50 pounds in the next 2 months. I'm just gonna chain myself to a treadmill. I think anything that comes from a place of shame. Right? So, weights have always been has always been one of my resolutions that I'm just like, "Can we just say better?
Yeah.
Can we just say get healthier?" And instead of all these punishments to yourself, it's like what you just said, "I'm gonna eat one more vegetable a day." I'm gonna have wine once a week, right? Not these like huge, I'm not having any sugar, I'm cutting all the things because the second that you stop that, it feels you're like, "Oh, I failed." No, you
I
didn't
failed.
fail,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. You're like, well, I might as well quit it because I failed it. It's over. Yeah.
Correct. And I think it also puts way too much on people. And then, like I said, so basically anything around drastic weight or fitness,
Yeah.
which I think is a lot of people's.
I mean, as soon as you say it, of course, that's the one that was in my resolutions 9 times out of 10. And if I had one thing to do over again related to that type of resolution specific to weight, and if I could give advice to anybody who has that as their resolution, while it's nice to say, I should have said, I would like to be healthier, I would like to be whatever, but really, that's not what's motivating me. I should have said, okay, so you want to lose 50 pounds this year. Whether or not that's reasonable is irrelevant. What I should have said is, I know I want to lose 50 pounds this year. Here's what I'm resolving to do. I'm resolving that every time I look in the mirror and I start to say something negative to myself about my body, I'm going to make myself say something nice. And by adding that positivity into your loop, you're probably going to achieve your weight loss because you are starting to feel better. So you move more or you do things more that are related to eventually losing weight. So that particular one, I think I probably could have had it in the back of my mind, but resolved to do other things that would have gotten me there. So, but I'm happy where I am now, but it would have been nice because I spent a lot of time mind fucking weight all year, every year for the majority of my life.
Well, guess what, Kelly? I hate to tell you this, but you are not alone.
Yeah, it wouldn't be how big an industry is weight loss? Trillions? Trillion?
I mean, so we can go through a couple we're going to cut the data a couple different ways, but for the majority of people, and this is men and women, 60 to 70% of their New Year's resolutions are around health and fitness. Hence why you're seeing all of the gyms advertised right now. It's things
Yeah.
like exercise more, lose weight, eat healthier. It's kind of like the translation I'd like to undo December.
Yeah.
And so and it also has the highest quit rate. So health and fitness, 60 to 70% of resolutions, but it has the highest quit rate. The money and finances, 30 to 40%, right? Includes save more money, spend less, pay off debt, and budget better, this always falls into my goals, actually,
Eh.
which is hysterical because I just didn't realize vibes cost this much. But as I'm thinking, okay, so at the party, the little women's get together where my sisters and my niece Kate came in and decided they're gonna save my basement, therefore my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Um, and I was talking about how I need to spend less money, all these things. And then I remember that Kate's turning 21 and she's never been to New York City. Guess what I did, Kelly?
You did not take her to New York City.
I sure as shit booked a flight for her and I, and now we're all going to New York City for her 21st birthday the week after.
Oh, you're gonna destroy her early.
No,
Poor
I'm
Kate.
not. It's gonna be very culturally relevant. It's fine. She's never been
I'm
to
sorry.
Broadway.
I don't mean destroy her like that. I mean, you're going to set a bar
Yeah.
that will be destructive to her over time. When's that? January?
No, it's in April. So April 10th.
April.
So we're going April 10th to the 12th, which falls right between her birthday and my birthday. So of course it went from Kate and I to now Jenny's coming. My friend Sarah, who I was just telling about it, she's like, "Well, I've never been to New York City. I'm going with you." I'm like, "Okay." And then now my sister, Kate's mom, and her other daughter are going as well. So they're like, "What's our itinerary?" I'm like, "I'll get right on top of that."
Yeah.
Right on top of that.
You're like, I'm the ideas person, not the executioner of the
No, listen,
itineraries. ChatGPT. Okay, so you are executing. Love it. Love me. Yeah, of course. Here's your role in this scheduled programming. Please execute. I have that friend, Alex is her name, and she is epic at it. And so I'm big ideas, and she's like, yes, yes, yes. And then I'm like, here, please make it happen. And she does. But that was work. We don't get to do that much now. But yes, I had my Jenny, and her name is
my Jenny, she can't even come close to.
I will tell you, so on that note of executing, my husband is currently driving back. So he did drive through Kansas, but it was at an inconvenient time to see you because I was like, well, you could scoot this way. You were a couple of hours out of where he was. And he's like, I'm trying to get to, I'm like, okay. Anyways, so he's en route back from Moab today. So, but yesterday, as I was, you're kind of in that week where you're getting back into work in a big way, but your body's not there. It's a little like starting a half marathon. He was like, "Hey, can you help me find a room?" So when he's doing the road trip, I'm the handler. He calls me, he says, "I got this many hours left in my drive. Can you find me a place over here? I'll land over here." So last night he's like, "Hey, I'm an hour out of Moab. Do you think you could find me that place we've stayed at before? Could you book that?" And I was in the midst of trying to wrap up my calls. I had to go to the chiropractor. Like I was like, "Yes, sure." So I managed it and then I texted him and I said, in my next life, I would like to be the handled, not the handler, because I'm like, I'm tired of executing. So I will be taking applications for who would like to be my handler, not in a weird way, just to do those executional things for me, please and thank
I
you.
need a
The
handler.
pay, the pay
I
is
need
definitely in vibes and verbal thank yous.
lots and lots of positive reinforcement.
There you
That's what
go.
we're that's what
Exactly.
we're that's what we're paying in. But I wanted to point out one quick thing
Yes.
about New Year's resolutions. And there is one place where when you run the search again and look it up by what are women's, not just
Mm.
the whole, but what are women's. And our number one, can you guess what it is?
Is it weight?
It is not.
Is something about maybe being more strength about, standing up for yourself or something like that maybe? I don't know. You're killing me with this pause.
Mental health, stress,
Mm.
and balance.
So to
So
be handled and not the handler.
that would include things like reduce stress, improve mental health, have a better work-life balance, feel less overwhelmed, protect energy, and set boundaries.
Well, the year of the horse feels like the right year to do that. Some boundaries is where we could start. Selective participation,
So
Christy.
that's not a boundary that Christy's gonna set. I mean, it's just not gonna
Christy's
happen.
like, this is not going to be one of those ones that I keep past January 17th.
Yeah, 'cause I just can't help myself. If it sounds fun or I feel like you need me, I'm there. That's just who I am.
Okay,
And I'm not
that's
changing
fair.
it, and it's fine. But, I'll go and go and go, and then I'll sleep for, like, a day and a half. People are like, "Why are you sleeping so long?" I'm like, "'Cause I haven't in a month.
I
I just need a
haven't
day and a half."
gotten Yeah, exactly. Did everybody manage to stay healthy in your family over the holiday? Speaking of falling down and staying down for a day and a half, everybody healthy?
Presley got the flu,
Ugh,
but
poor girl.
yeah, so she had the flu, but that was, like,
Just before the holiday,
just
right?
before the holidays. It was the week before the break, but we caught it so early that they gave her it's not.
Not Tamiflu?
Yeah, but it's a Fluzah, I think, and it's more effective without the side effects, so in 30 hours, she was back at it. I mean, she could go to school, she couldn't practice or anything like that, but she was back at it, and knock on wood, I have not gotten it.
Yeah, I will make no comment because I also don't want to jinx it.
Well,
I heard lots of folks who had it, and it was a kick in the pants from what I heard.
I had many friends and their kids that had it, and they said it was, like, one of the worst ones they've had.
I will say one resolution, and it wasn't even a resolution. It was like, hey, maybe I should do this thing. And so it was not January 1st. It was probably the end of November. I watched enough TikToks to figure out how I could possibly try to live in my natural curly hair. And so it's this whole process of coming out of the shower soaking wet, scrunching, adding leave-in conditioner, scrunching, adding mousse, scrunching, adding gel, and then don't touch it and like let it air dry and then never touch it again. And so I have, with the exception of one day when I got back to California for shits and giggles, I have not straightened my hair, put heat other than a diffuser on my hair since the end of November. And interestingly, you can see how short my hair is here. Christy, if I pull these curls down, my hair's actually down here, like below my shoulder. But these springies are like whoop, like floods, short pants. But
I mean,
I'm trying to keep it, let it grow on its own and not straighten it.
I love that for you. I, just got my hair cut on the day before New Year's Eve, so the 30th of
Oh, before the
January.
wedding? Yeah.
Before the wedding, and of course, I lost a lot of hair last year. I was a little stressed out, and it hasn't really been growing back. Like, it's not growing, it's not thick, and I've been taking every dietary supplement known to man. But here's what my therapist, AKA she's not my therapist, but she's my hair therapist, and
Mm,
she's like, "Christy, you need to stop wearing your hair in a ponytail."
the tension of pulling it back.
And she's like, "That's not," she's like, "'Cause where it's breaking off is, like, right where your ponytail is." And I'm like, "But listen, sis." She's like, "Also, use as little heat as possible." And I was like, "Okay, so you're kinda confusing me here because I don't wash my hair but every 4th day, usually. And what the fuck do I do with it?" And she's like, "Well, wear a hat." So hence your hat. Also, Chiefs, I still love you. We're gonna be okay.
Can
And
we all
while
just admit, Chrissy looks great in a hat, by the way. I love you in a hat. So you could wear lots of hats. I have a whole
yeah,
wall
except
of
for that, I mean,
hats. You've been to my house. You
oh
could
my
just
god, your husband has a horrible, horrible.
Well, he has a baseball hat problem, but I mean, I have like cowboy hats and a wall of hats because I do like to wear hats. So, but you look good in a hat. I like this flat top look. Maybe not work appropriate all the time, but whatever.
No, no, I can't do that for work, but also I can wear a ponytail at the bottom, like, of
A
my the
low pony.
base, a low pony, which,
Could
I
you
used
do could you do a claw clip, like a French twist kind of thing? It's less
I didn't
tension.
ask. I'll shoot her a text. I don't know. She's just like, "Listen, just get extensions," I think is where we're at, but I'm like, "Let me land 2 clients, then I'm gonna get some extensions."
But won't that be more damaging having extensions on? No.
Not if
Okay.
they're done right. So
Okay.
they'll be sewn in. They'll be like actual.
Yeah, like the wefts. So if you have extensions, how long you going? Are you going like super below the boob, like
No, I
you know?
mean I
I would
mean, it's
love
gonna
it.
be
Do
my
it.
I'm gonna be like, "My New Year's resolution is to grow 5 feet on my hair," and I'll just show up next time like
I
Bobby
nailed
Arrow.
it. I did it in a day.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking on it right now. I'm thinking on it,
Okay.
and
We
you
should
never
take a
know.
poll. Dear listeners, Hair extensions, yes or no for Christy? And then if yes, thoughts? What should they be? Super long, just for volume. What are we thinking?
Thinking I need about 1.5 inches in volume.
I saw you sent me a photo of yourself years ago and it was longer. Like, I feel like it was like boob length, wasn't it? And
Yeah, it was.
zhuzhy. And it looked
And it was
amazing.
so I've always my hair is the strands are thin. I've just always had a shit ton of
Long.
it.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
I don't have a shit ton anymore, and I'm like, "I need volume, I need whatever." Meanwhile, I have this friend, she cuts her hair 6 inches and it grows, 10 in 2 months, and I'm just like, "Fuck you."
That's Brady's, my daughter-in-law to be Bella. Same. She could cut her hair to this length that mine is, like below the chin. And then within 6 months, it's at her butt. And I'm like, what the hell? How does that happen? What are you
Well,
eating
also,
specifically that
how
I
old is
could?
she? Let's talk about
Well,
how old
yeah,
she is.
she's 26. So,
Yeah, cool. When I was
yeah.
26, guess what? I washed my hair and blew dry it every single day, and it was voluminous and amazing, but whatever. Okay, so new hair is
What's
mine. No.
yeah, new hair is your resolution. If you should have resolved to grow it 18 inches this year and then you just went to one hair appointment and you nailed it. Check it off your to-do list.
Yeah, right on top of that. That's right. That is right under spend less money.
Shoot, yeah, those are probably diametrically opposed. I can do one, but not both.
Can't we do both? Isn't there like some balance somewhere?
Spend less
Spoil.
money on. Maybe you should have been more specific. Spend less money on, and then you could have worked around it. I do also
Yeah.
want to check in this, out of curiosity, in this cleanup of your basement, did your vibration board survive the culling?
It's in my room. I use it every day.
Yay! And do you love using it
I
or
do.
tolerate it? You remember to use it?
I remember to use it. I am not using it right now because I'm in a shit ton of pain with my injuries from my epic fall.
Might actually be a helpful tool to
Oh
you.
my God, Kelly, it was so embarrassing. This woman and her daughter pull over because they saw it.
No.
And I'm like standing up and I'm like, oh fuck, is anything broken? I mean, I am just like, what happened? Like,
Mm,
and they're like, ma'am, are you okay? And I'm like,
God. Shake it off.
I don't know. And she's
No.
like, do you need a ride home? And I'm like, yes. It was so bad that I accepted a ride from a stranger.
Whoa. How far from home were you when that
It was
happened?
like, well, I was, let's see, I had like less than 3/4 of a mile because I was on my way back.
I see. But you would have had to hobble home and you were not in a position to hobble home.
It's absolutely not. And then I get home and Presley's like, you took a ride with a stranger? And
This is
she's
not
like,
the thing we should be holding ourselves
I mean,
accountable
she's
for.
like, I was like, Presley, also, what else was I supposed to do? She's like, call
Yeah.
me. And I'm like,
Yeah. What
what
were
are
you
you
going to
gonna
do?
do?
Get your
I was like,
bicycle?
you call me. I was like, she's like, I'll get Colton's Jeep. And he has this little toy Jeep that I'm gonna have to get
Oh,
rid of
yes.
in the night because he doesn't fit in it anymore, but he loves this freaking
Uh,
Jeep. So she's like, I'd have gotten the Jeep and brought it over to you. I'm like, I don't fit in the Jeep. And she's like,
I,
but
Emery
yeah,
had one of those. She had a Barbie pink one. We picked it up in the US on Black Friday one year, like 2 a.m, as you do. Not because we were hiding anything, just it was a sale at Walmart and you have to get them first in so you can get it. She got it when we gave it to her when she was 3, maybe 2 or 3 years old, and we kept it till she was probably 12. But the weight limit was 150 pounds, and it's like, get out of that Jeep, we're gonna destroy it. But what a great toy. So I'm with Colton, keep it until you're 150 pounds.
I don't know. I'm kind of trying to purge things in the new year. It's not a resolution.
No,
It's just something I'm trying to do a little bit every day where I see something and I'm like, you don't belong here anymore. And
I agree. I agree. We
so
need to do a massive purge in my house, as you know, with my husband who tends to collect a lot of things. Because we have an impetus to purge. So, new news from pre Christmas is that my daughter has decided to go to school in Canada. So,
hey,
she,
hold on. For anyone who's listening and not watching, sad face. I'm very sad. I'm very
wait, wait,
sad by
wait,
this
wait.
decision.
I'm happy for the decision for my daughter. So she wants to go back to Ontario where her friends are, and she's going to finish university in Ontario. I am happy from the mother's perspective because now she is paying Canadian dollars for education and her mother gets paid in American dollars. And if you're familiar at all with the exchange rate, this is very positive for me, and school in Canada is much cheaper. But what it means for my husband and I is we don't necessarily need to live in the state of California if our daughter is living in Ontario. We could live anywhere. And if you are also familiar with the tax rates in America, we're in the most spendy state there is, I think, save for maybe New York City. So
You
I
just
know that's not a state.
what one prop for
Yeah.
California, though, you guys do contribute more in taxes to the federal government than you use. Way more. Just so I know, but I'm just saying props to California. 'Cause you guys, like, everyone's like, "Oh, they're the spendiest state." Yeah, but you know how
Yeah.
much they give us in federal taxes they're not
Yeah.
getting back?
Very fair.
Just
They
saying.
don't get
Okay,
back.
wait, where the fuck are you moving? I've not
Well,
approved
this is a
anything yet.
question. This is a question. So the person who is helping me the most is my chat GPT. And I'm like, okay, dear chat, here's the reality. Here's the vibes that I like. Here are the things we'd like to have exposure to and not, i.e. oppressively long winters. No, thank you. Don't ask me for anything in the Northeast coast. And, this is how much we make. And I would like to save X number of dollars. Give me some states. And so right now, the top states that are
Texas.
coming up is actually Washington, Utah, Arizona, Texas, yes, but there's a few things that we like to do that Texas doesn't have, like mountains, things like that. But it does have sunshine and warm weather. So Arizona, Utah, Washington State, Oregon. Maybe Nevada, and Reno, but I'm like, no, thank you to Reno. No
No, no,
offense to
don't do
Reno.
Rena. I don't know, I'm kinda I like Arizona for you guys.
That is definitely the front runner that I am looking at most because you can get winter in spots in Arizona, but winter-ish snow, but it's not super, super snow. And yes, it is oppressively hot in the summer, but we can go elsewhere when it's oppressively hot. So it does open up. So from the perspective of culling, I'm like, hey, if we're moving, we would hopefully downsize. And so all of this shit can't come with us. Getting my husband to cull is difficult. You'd have a better time getting Colton to get rid of that Jeep than my husband to get rid of all of the stuff I have in the garage.
I just throw Colt in his iPad and run away.
We
Uh, I'm trying to think of what behooves me the most. I feel like you should live on a beach.
Yeah. I don't actually go to the beach as much as we go into the mountains and trees, which is weird. I would have
Okay,
thought it
fine,
was.
I just need you to have a badass pool.
This is absolutely a requirement. So every house that I look at, if it's Arizona or Texas or anywhere that it gets that hot, it has to have a pool in my backyard. Like I love that
Yeah.
we have here community pools in the neighborhoods that we live, but I want to be able to just go out the back door and go into my own backyard. So stay tuned, but that's kind of Arizona front runner as well. So feel free to Google and send me your top selects for places that have a nanny suite or somewhere you can stay.
I'm gonna need a pool house.
A pool house. Okay. But
And
this
you
is
could
it.
probably get so you're gonna leave California?
I mean, probably. TBD when. If she goes, she's applied to 6 or 7 schools in Ontario. She should start to hear back in the next couple of months and then would start in September. So she would like to move back July, August. So she has some time to just chill in the summer back at home. And so then that would be the time that we would be like, okay, maybe we looked to relocate by then or before. TBD. Lots of open-ended ideas.
Now I
So
know now I know what I'm doing every night when I don't wanna deal with my own problems and
you're
can't sleep.
going on Zillow and shooting me houses. Okay, I like it. I like to crowdsource some ideas. Everybody, send me your ideas. But sorry, Florida, I can't do you. It's too much humidity. No, thank you. Washington State makes sense because our boys are in BC, so it'd be super easy to be driving distance to them, but there's not the same
That's
warmth.
not Yeah, I was like, "That's not a
Yeah.
warm place." When you said Washington, I'm like, "That
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
mean"
But
No, no, that's
there's some tax favorability. So if my financial person on my shoulder is like, hey, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, but remember how many rants you had when you were in Canada? You are not happy cold. I mean, you're just not.
It's true. That is true. And that's what I did say to Andrew as we were deciding, like, where might we? Because I mean, similarly, Salt Lake City, beautiful, Utah, beautiful, but it gets some winter. And I don't love the winter. I like to visit the snow. I don't need to live in the snow. So that's why for me, Arizona, I'm like, maybe we should go like Phoenix, north of Phoenix, somewhere there.
Scottsdale, like
Yeah, Scottsdale. Andrew's like, Sedona? Ooh, wine. Let's think through this.
Listen, if it's warm and you have a massive pool and a place for me and my kids, I'm fine with it.
Okay, these are your criteria. I'm
That's
noting
my
those.
criteria. That's my I'd prefer a nonstop flight to Kansas City, but as we know, that is very difficult to come by sometimes.
I know. Good God. That is the other thing, though. It needs to be somewhere within reasonable, and by reasonable, I mean like 45 minutes or less drive to a major US airport that can get me both up into Canada to either Toronto or BC, but also get me into San Diego where my office is and things like that. So there's a few things like that to consider. But that's the new news. That's the new what do I want to do? And in the meantime, my daughter has also moved back home.
Wait, what?
I know so many
I didn't
things.
know any of this.
I know it literally
Is
just
An
happened.
is Andrew just the happiest damn person in the world right now?
Dad is so, so happy that his daughter is back. However, my daughter got a cat, so now I have a cat in the house. I mean, she's cute. She's very snuggly, but maybe I have the opposite of nose blindness. All I can smell is the cat litter, and I know it's clean. I think it's just mentally, I'm like, do you smell the cat litter?
Well, in fairness, your dog doesn't stink, which is very odd.
That's true. He has 0 smell, so it's
Yeah,
not like a pet. So
it's
I'm just gonna
very
have a
weird.
lot of diffusers and candles in my house all the time, but I am happy to have my daughter, and she is here. So these are all the things that can, in a dime, change in your world.
That's why New Year's resolutions are dumb.
Yeah, it's true. You can't predict what's going to change.
You're like,
Roll with
let's
it.
see. I went with some of my, I had to think about it on this podcast a little bit and then write a few down of the absolute dumbest New Year's resolutions that
Yeah, yeah, give it to me.
I'm becoming a completely new person.
Yeah, stupid. Can't do it. Go on.
Yeah, this time it's
Also
different. That's the
so
follow-up line.
also, the original person's cool, so why? Anyways, go on.
I know, right? So I'm waking up at 5 a.m. every day.
To do what? Workout? Did you have that? Why were you gonna do at 5? What's
I
up?
it was 5 a.m. and it was so I could get my workout done, so I could get like things prepped for my family and so to make sure they
Mm.
had a smooth morning. But the reality is I hate mornings, I hate alarms, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not yeah, it's just not 5 a.m. is I used to do it when I was younger before I had children, which makes no sense. Why the fuck would anyone get up at 5
Yeah,
in the
you should have
morning?
been
But 5,
sleeping then.
5:30? Well, I
Yeah.
I would I would do it because I'd have to work out, and then remember when I told you I washed and blew dry my hair every single day, and then I had to
Oh,
be in
yeah,
the
that
office
takes time.
by 8:30, so, I did that. This is one of my favorite ones, and it's not really a resolution, but it's a thought. This year will be calm. And every year, I'm like, "This is not optimism, Christy. You're, like, threatening God and the universe."
Illusion.
It's like, "Hold
Exactly.
on, hold on, hold on to my beer. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
exactly.
calm.
You
Just you
want
wait,
calm.
sis."
Alright, yeah. Unless
I
you plan to
also
move into the middle of nowhere and live in a yurt by yourself, there was no chance of that.
well, it still wouldn't be calm. I have small children.
No, I meant by yourself, by yourself.
Oh, then I would just be depressed and sad. No, I don't do well. I'm an extrovert, okay? I don't know if you knew this. I source energy from being around people.
Hadn't guessed it, but thank you for clarifying.
I once did one that was like, "I'm just gonna be disciplined this year," which is not a plan.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not a plan. This is not a good plan.
Hope is not a strategy.
No. I've done varying levels of cutting out sugar, alcohol, carbs, and fun, which goes along with this year I'm going to be a completely different person because
'Cause you would be. If you cut out all of those things, I would be a different person. It's like, "I'm gonna cut back on coffee." False. No, you're not.
I only have 1 cup a day traditionally.
Really? Well,
Anxiety keeps me very, very energized.
my raging, bubbling anxiety is the thing that I get motivated by to get going each day. No, mine is caffeine for sure.
I decided I was gonna have a morning routine, which is funny because I don't even have a night routine.
I had true. I can't commit to my
Like,
night
I
routine.
can't even commit to my, to making sure and don't everyone, make fun of me or shame me. I can't even make sure my face is washed every night.
I was just going to say that's the routine that I'm like, last night I fell asleep on the couch. I'm still trying to get into the Pacific time zone. Fell asleep on the couch and I got up and came upstairs and I was like, I know I should wash my face, but I'll do it tomorrow. I know I will wash my face in the morning. So nighttime Kelly is like, meh, that's tomorrow's Kelly's problem.
So yeah, that's Christy's that's tomorrow Christy's problem. This one's tired. Well, because like my son, I go up, he reads me a book, I read him a book, I scratch his back. I usually fall asleep at least momentarily until my daughter comes in and is like, why are you sleeping with
Yeah.
anyways? But so I don't know.
If I was
Those are
going to
some of
be
the
if I was going to be religious about a face routine at night, it would actually have to be 5:30, 6 o'clock, like before you sit down on the couch for the night, like, and relax. Post work, close the computer, go to the bathroom, wash everything off. That's my night routine. I'm moving into a different mode. I would probably do that more religiously than if I wait till 10 at night and then I'm like, no, I'm too tired.
Do you know that my friends are like appalled by this? They're like, what do you mean you don't have a night regimen that you do every single night? And I'm like, nope, I just got Mary's jeans.
Nope.
Thank God.
I'm with you. Same. The number of night. My daughter has a full night routine. It's like 25 minutes. I have 0 minutes.
Who has, I mean,
Here's my night routine. I go pee. There. Jammies on pee. That's my routine.
we're so similar because I have to do my kids' nighttime routines. And by the time
I
I'm
know.
done with that, I'm exhausted.
Too
They're
tired. No,
clean.
thank you.
I mean, and Presley, my sister. So my sister Angela from Texas was up in Presley's room over the break and she's like, this child has more skincare stuff than I do. I'm like, I know, feel
Yeah.
free to take anything. And
Yeah.
Presley's like heard me and she's like, Mom, I'll know it's gone. And you
Yeah.
know what? She
Right.
probably would because she probably would because she's like a total psycho and she has this whole regimen at 11 that she does in the morning and at night, which I'm just like, okay, fine. It's great.
Well, the good thing about Emery moving back, besides the fact that my daughter moved back, is the fact that the Sephora also moved back. So I have my try before you buy back in my makeup room. So there you go. I opened the drawer yesterday because she reset herself up and we share a room, which I had to move. That's hence the new background. I had to come out of her bedroom. So I'm in it. I'm in what used to be the glam room. And now the glam room is in what used to be the storeroom. Anyways, I
Why
opened
didn't
the
you just have her move into the glam room?
because the daybed thing that's in there is just too big to move.
Okay.
So my
So
office is now in the glam room. Chrissy's like, I'm trying to locate
hold
myself.
on. Yeah, I'm locating myself in your
So
house.
the bedroom that you slept in when you stayed over is the
Yeah.
room that she's sleeping in.
Oh,
The
got
r-
it.
the
Okay.
the room that was I made my office was her old bedroom is now going to be her like living room. So she'll set it up like a loungy living room so that she has that. And then the glam room now is my office.
Are you taking applications to be a daughter? Because I would be your daughter.
I mean, age-wise, it wouldn't necessarily work, but I could do it. I am taking applications, as I mentioned, to be handled. So if you would like to be my handler, you're like,
No,
oh, that's not my
no,
skill.
no. I need to be handled. That's the one thing about you and I, Kelly, is we're both incredibly efficient, strong, smart things. But I just feel like we could both use handlers in our lives.
Yeah, agreed. I agreed. I would like to revise my original application request and say it is for two.
It includes me.
Maybe we could share the handler if they can split their time. We would like to have them handled by one person, two people handled. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. We were supposed to
Okay,
talk
we're at
about New
the
Year's
hour.
resolutions.
My
Anything we want to
God.
say? I have a couple of closing words.
Do it.
Or just
Let's
one.
hear it. One closing word?
No, I just one like sentence, half sentence.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just want to say if your New Year's resolution requires a different nervous system than the one you have, it's not a goal, it's fan fiction. Like it's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to
Well,
happen.
I will tell you here's one resolution I can absolutely guarantee we will keep past March, and that is to keep this podcast happening all through 2026.
Yes, ma'am. And also, I need to figure out what the login to our TikTok is so I can actually start helping doing some of the promoting. Yeah, I know, guys. It's so sad.
That is
Kelly,
that's Christy's resolution that could we all please hold her accountable to past March is help.
Seed's resolution is to take her marketing savvy and advertising savvy and use it for the podcast.
It is literally her day job and could propel us to who knows what kind of heights. Girl.
I know, I'm fired. Okay, also too, if your New Year's resolution sounds boring, it's probably attainable in the right direction.
Yeah, you should probably do that one. This one sounds boring and lame. Let's start there.
It might actually work.
It might. And then if you're like me, who very much likes to check boxes, you'll be like, you crushing this year of the horse. Check. Next example, please.
I am very excited for 2020. Let me just say that 26 is my lucky number. It is. It is. It's my birthday
Oh,
and my
yes.
daughter's birthday are both on the
Okay.
26th.
It is your lucky number then.
It is.
Year of the horse,
But
2026.
yeah, and horses are the animals I like the best. So, I mean, here we go. I really fucking hate snakes. So last year was bound to be a doozy.
Yeah, last year was definitely a doozy, but that skin felt real good to leave behind. So
I know. It'll feel really good once I heal from my epic fall. So embarrassing. Do you think that's God telling me not to run a half marathon? Or the devil saying, this is funny. I'm not really sure. I'm like, is this
is
a,
this an omen?
is this like, are you, what is this? Or just
Well,
dumb fucking luck and stupidity on my part?
it could be a bit of both. You will see the next time you go out on your next run. If the next time you go out on a run, like, I don't know, a black cat runs in front of you, immediately stop running, turn around and walk or even call an Uber, go home.
Okay. If the next time next week, because it's going to take me at least a week to like heal from this situation.
Yeah.
So embarrassing. It's so hard getting old. I mean, way to humble me real quick. Like, it wasn't bad enough that I was like, "Am I jogging yet?" No, no. This is
Just
just
a
kind of a slow
fast-paced walk.
walk. I don't really even know. Like, pick up your damn feet. Anywho, okay. Do we have
Anywho.
anything else before we go, Kelly?
No, I'm just so glad that we got this back. I feel like it has been 100. I even looked at the calendar. I was like, when was the last time I talked to her and we had a podcast episode? It feels like a million years ago. So that was too long. I can just say that. So I'm just looking forward to our next episode and we'll figure out what it's about. But we stayed largely on topic today. So we are already incrementally better than last year.
Is being on topic better? Did we ever decide that?
That's true. We didn't even say that that was something that was necessary. It might be
Yeah.
endearing
So
that we never do.
maybe you should share that with me, but also, like I tell Presley, if nothing goes wrong, there's no story.
Many stories then in 2026, everybody. You can just be sure of that, especially
Wait a
if
minute.
Christy keeps continuing to do her daily jogs.
I'm gonna do this. Okay, awesome. Happy podcast Thursday.
Happy
Yay!
podcast. I even totally forgot it was Thursday. Oh my God. Happy podcast Thursday 2026, season 2, episode 1.
Oh yay, I love that. Okay. Awesome. Have a great week.
Have
Bye.
a great week.